Gollum is great in this movie, really, and so I think do you think if we will see him again in the next movies?
I
Maybe
don't know. I don't think
any
so.
idea?
I think that's the end of Gollum. Sad, so I have to say goodbye to him finally.
Finally, because how do you feel about say goodbye?
Well, he's a character that means a lot to me. I played him for 12 years ago, and he's a wonderful character to work on. Very interesting psychologically. There was a lot to understand about the character, and so much to. It was beautifully written by Tolkien, but also beautifully adapted by the writers Philippa Boyens and Fran Walsh on this movie. But it also he means a lot to me because he opened up a big a door to playing so many other characters using performance capture technology. So to come back and it's like I've completed a circle with him really.
And we saw you in live action in the trilogy, in the original trilogy. Do you think there will be space for you in the in the next movies as with a cameo or something like this?
I don't know. I don't think so. No, and I mean, obviously, I had another role on this movie. This time
Yes,
as a second unit director.
director.
Yeah. So that was that was the main part of the job for me actually, because we shot for 200 days on the second unit, and I only played Gollum for 2 weeks at the beginning of the shoot for The Hobbit. So yeah, I feel like I've completed the journey and helped shape the story in some way. So I think I'm finished now.
And how was the filming in HFR 3D?
3D I'd never worked with before. Or I've never shot with 3D before, so it was a big learning curve for me, because you can be very dramatic with it. You can choose how much you want to come out at you in front of the screen, or how much depth you create behind the screen with 3D. And that was for me that was a big learning curve, because we didn't want it to be too much of a thrill ride of things kind of zooming out at you. We wanted to only use it very specifically for and dramatically.
And so you had the responsibility on the aesthetic too, the aesthetic of your scenes, I guess.
Yeah.
So how was managing this?
Sure, it's a good question. Obviously, I was there to be Peter's eyes and ears and shoot with the way that I thought that his sensibility would, dictate. And that's why he asked me to do it, because I think he could trust me in that respect, and I think I really do understand how he likes to move the camera in relation to performance. And so that was what I would do is he would he would brief me on a scene, I would set it up, and then we would do some takes, then I would show it to him. He would be able to look at it on a monitor on the main unit, and then he would give me notes, and then we would be back and forth, and then eventually we would carry on shooting until he was happy.
And this could be a learning. Well, you had the chance to learn a lot, I guess, in this situation. Sure. So I know you are producing and maybe directing a performance capture movie. Maybe I don't know if it's official.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We have a studio here in London now called the Imaginarium, and it's a performance capture studio. And one of the first films that we are making, that I'm directing, is George Orwell's Animal Farm.
So what can you tell us something about this project if you want?
Yeah, I mean it's going to be completely driven by actors' performances, using performance capture. We are treating the subject matter as if George Orwell was writing for today. So we're not doing an allegory of communism as he originally wrote when he wrote the book, but it will have the same political themes, but just more targeted to today, and without being overly political, because we want it to have really at the root of it to be an emotionally engaging film, not just not an overtly political movie.
So the last question, what's the difference between the Gollum you performed in the first trilogy and this last little Gollum we saw? But it's a huge Gollum.
Well, actually, this is the first time you will ever see him. If you watch, young film goers who are coming to see these films for the first time, this new generation of film goers will see this is the first you know, in the way that you're supposed to read the books, you know, The Hobbit first, then Lord of the Rings. You know, so in a way, you see a lighter side. You see his childish, innocent side, the way he plays riddles. He remembers his childhood. I mean, he's been on his own for 500 years, going slowly crazy with his precious. But he does love it when he first meets Bilbo, and then, of course, the other side of his personality, he wants to kill him and eat him. So you see that duality. But he's not driven by revenge. It's not as heavy, and until he realizes, of course, that he's lost the ring, and then it's catastrophic for him.